Hi, this is Gail Knott with Not Limited Solutions. Yesterday I spoke about the internet calendar, marketing calendar, and the video before was about the social media editorial calendar. So what's the difference between the two and how do they work together? Your social media calendar is actually just a subset of your overall marketing calendar. Remember that social media is just one technique that you can use in your tool belt to get the word out there about your business. Now, when you have your internet marketing calendar, that's usually something that the business owner or the marketing director, if you're a larger company, handles and takes care of. The editorial calendar can be one and the same if you happen to be the social media manager as well as your marketing director, among other hats that you have. If you are a larger business or if you're starting to bring assistants in, you can take control over the internet marketing plan and design the social media editorial calendar, but be able to hand it off to your assistant. For someone who's well trained in social media techniques, they can see that calendar, they know what you want, and they can work with you on your blog topics and so on, depending on how that's set up for you. And we can go into more detail into that later. So, if it's just you as a solopreneur, your editorial calendar and your marketing calendar can be one and the same. So what's the next step with that? When you have everything planned out with your marketing calendar, you have your events, you know what you want to promote, and you know how far in advance you need to start promoting things, then you got to decide what's the first step. What's my first technique in promotion? And for internet marketing, it all starts with your blog. Your blog is the mothership of your internet marketing campaign. If you teach classes, this is really easy to do. Just take your syllabus and your agenda, and those topics that you cover in the class are your blog topics. So all you gotta do is look at those blog topics and know this is what you're gonna write or do videos about. So what actually goes into your calendar is what posts or what topics are posted when, and when are you going to take the time to write or film those posts. So again, when will those posts be published, and what topics and when will you take the time to write them and film them? So here are my tips. If you are looking to get as much traffic as possible, you may want to consider blogging at least 2 times a week. That's kind of the medium range. If your business is all about internet marketing, you're so focused on internet, there may be a point when you get to start updating your blog daily. And there are other techniques. You don't have to do all of that yourself. I can share that later in a different video. But at least 2 times a week. Now, if you're just getting started and that sounds scary, updating your blog 2 times a week, I want you to go for 1 time a week. 1 blog post a week. And blog posts don't have to be long. We're talking about 150 words. That's about 1 to 2 paragraphs. If you're doing videos, 3-minute videos. That's all it takes. And you'll find that once you get the hang of it and start doing this, it's going to be actually hard to stop. You're going to start timing yourself and you're realizing, oh, that's too long. So I think when it comes to blogging and people's initial fears when it comes to blogging, I think they spend more time being scared of blogging than actually writing the blog. So here's the other technique that I'd like you to try. I mentioned that in your calendar you're gonna put what topics are going to be published when. I also want you to put in your calendar when you're going to write or film those blog posts. And here's my technique. Try, especially if you find that you're procrastinating or you're nervous about doing this, is block out some time. Block out like at least 2 hours where you are going to free write and just write whatever comes to mind and don't stop. And that can be another blog post. And I actually have some great colleagues that I work with who are wonderful writing mentors. So if you feel stuck at any of that writing, find find some buddies that you can write with and have an accountability group and just some quiet writing time. You may need to leave your office and go to a coffee shop or to the library, just to a different setting, so you're not in front of your regular computer, or you're not near your laundry, or whatever it is that distracts you. Or maybe try a writing class or work with a writing coach to get over those stumbling blocks. And you'll find that once you get going, you'll find that you'll end up writing a whole lot. And in that time period that you set aside, you can look at what you've written and then start breaking them into one or more blog posts. I worked with one client of mine where he sat down for an hour and a half and just wrote straight through. And he thought originally he just had one really long blog post. But when I looked over his shoulder and took a peek at what he wrote, I saw that we could break up what he wrote into 4 or 5 blog posts. So in that hour and a half of time that he set aside, he wanted to blog just once a week, he was good for the month. So that may be all it takes. So see what works for you. One of my goals is to actually start setting one day a week aside to just write or film or just create content. I have all these ideas for books and videos and articles. I can't even get the words out right now. And so that's one of my dreams, where I can have almost like a play day and just create and see what comes out of that. And that's something that I'm slowly going towards. So see what works best for you, whether it's an hour a day, 2 hours a month. Try different things to see what works for you, and let me know how that works out. Let us know what your techniques are. Did you set aside a time every day? Did you set a goal for how many words you're going to write a day? Did you set off one day a week, which is one of my dreams to do? Let me know what works for you in terms of blogging. And the next video, we'll talk about going from blogging to social media such as Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn.